Fork in it, the prep winter sports season is done, but we'll take a look back at all the Pioneer League teams. From the South Spartan boys basketball and girls soccer teams, there is success and bragging rights for a whole year. The Tartar girls soccer team proved their worth again this season. Who did better, the girls or boys b-ball team? North's best postseason success came from the Mats, but the hardwood wasn't far behind. Who went deepest in CIF play? We'll tell ya. The Sports Desk has some in-studio guests who let you in on the biggest things in Torrance happening this spring. Get fired up because it starts right now. Hello and welcome to the Sports Desk. I'm Bonnie Prickitt. Spring's around the corner, which means baseball and softball are gearing up. We'll tell you a little bit more about that later in the show. But first, let's take a look back. The South Spartans are first on the list of schools. We'll take a quick look at their winter sports. The Cinderella story of the boys basketball team that got them to the finals might not have ended with a win, but it sure makes a great story. And the great stories don't end there. Ashley Morgado takes us back.
The winter sports season for South High was weathered with wins. These Spartan teams fought through tough seasons to make it into playoffs, and boy, did they not disappoint. South boys basketball had a roller coaster season. When we first talked with them, they were hopeful and excited for what was to come. Some unfortunate losses during season made people doubt this Spartan team. And coming into CIF playoffs, the 4th seed Spartans had a steep mountain to climb. But Coach Clem prepared his team, and they surprised everyone. South made it all the way to the CIF finals. They unfortunately lost to Calabasas, but their fight to the finals was a huge win to us. Great job, boys. The boys soccer team also had a successful winning season. We were there when the boys clinched their Pioneer League. The team was ready to take on CIF playoffs. In their first round game against Hawthorne, senior stud Connor Archambault scored a hat trick, making the Spartans lead 3-0 in the first half. The Spartans took round 1 and then beat Saddleback to advance to the quarterfinals. But unfortunately, El Rancho beat out the Spartans with a 2-1 score. Great season overall, boys. The boys' winter sports did great, but don't think they had all the fun. The Spartan girls had some great wins and some great postseason action as well. South girls basketball started this season with a new coach, Bobby Imamura. When we first saw them, they were excited to have a much better season than last year, and they did. The Spartans were undefeated in the first run-through of league play. They suffered losses to Centennial and Torrance in the second attempt in league, but the game that sticks out is the come-from-behind win in overtime to North High. Alyssa Yim hit the 3 to tie the game and go into OT. Her shooting helped the Spartans into their second-round game of CIF playoffs, but Gar High School beat the Spartans 65-44. Great job, ladies. Finishing our winter highlights, the girls' soccer team was ready and pumped to kickstart their successful season. South and Torrance tied for first in Pioneer League, but they didn't mind sharing that title because the Spartans were on the move to the one they really wanted, CIF. Blew past first and second rounds and then beat Santa Paula in the quarterfinals to make it to the semifinals. The girls unfortunately lost against Marymount, but they made a name for the Spartan team. Congratulations, Spartans. For the Sports Desk, I'm Ashley Morgado.
Thanks to Ashley Morgado for the wrap-up. The South boys basketball team fell in the final to #1 seed Calabasas. They're competing in the state tournament this week. We'll let you know how they did. And it's a great finish considering that they were an at-large team from the Pioneer League. The Lady Spartans shared the title with Torrance this season after a 20-9 overall record. The boys soccer team impressed with the Pioneer League title and got all the way to the quarterfinals. The girls soccer team held up its great reputation as it's continued its postseason success. For 5 years now, 5 years, they've reached at least the semifinals. They are graduating 4 seniors, some of whom definitely have scholarships in their future. And Coach Brad Gomez is lucky to have many underclassmen returning for another deep run next season. The North Saxons boys basketball team started and ended their season strong. The boys soccer team playoff appearance included a shootout at the very end, and once again the wrestlers brought their glory to the Saxons to hang their hats on this winter season. Let's take a look. Starting off the Saxons' winter season, the boys basketball team conquered and won the Pioneer League again, with the rotation of core players showing that there was no I in team, as every week a different player was the player to make a clutch move. Their stellar play will keep them in Division 2A for sure. The Lady Saxons managed a 17-12 overall record underneath a new coach. The highlight of their regular season was beating the Lady Tartars 39-35, and they won in the first round of the playoffs 38-32 in Division 2A. The Saxon boys soccer team started the season sluggish, but led by keeper James Lasardi and his returning defense, managed to keep their long run of postseason appearances going and giving fans a new coach. And oh yeah, beating Channel Islands, the team that's knocked them out of the playoffs the last few years in the South Holiday Tournament, must have been pretty sweet for Brian Johnson, who had the assist and Omar Aguirre. Congrats, guys. In North Girls Soccer, Natalie Medina's goal against South was definitely one of the highlights for the seniors and the rest of the team. And of course, their goalie, Lauren Sullivan, is only a junior, so look out for next year. The North Wrestling team took back their Pioneer League crown this season, led by wrestlers Jordan Garola and Johnson Mai. The individual competitors were stellar in the regular season and took many awards and accolades deep into the postseason. They look good for next year. The North Saxons basketball team's core group of players took their turns being the star player each week, taking the Pioneer League again and visiting the postseason. The girls basketball team hung in the Pioneer League and rocked to the second round in the ultra-competitive Division 2A. And the boys soccer team can again celebrate another trip to the CIF for more than 5 years. Wrestlers Johnson Mai and Jordan Garola have more than just a 2nd and 7th place finish in the state tournament. But even getting to the state tournament is, well, majorly impressive, and we're going to get more in depth with these Saxon wrestlers in a few weeks. Coming up after the break, though, is it the girls or boys basketball teams in the Tartars that ended the strongest? Stick around to find out.
A child's drawing, an American flag, combat boots, flowers. Thousands of mementos like these are left at the Vietnam Memorial Wall every year. Silent messages that say, you are not forgotten. A quarterback, a class clown, a natural leader, someone's son, someone's father, someone's best friend. For those who died in the Vietnam War, the greatest tribute is to see them not just as names on the wall, but as the people they were. The Education Center at the wall will put faces to the names. It will preserve photos, letters, and mementos of veterans, so their stories and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Call or click now. Help us build it.
The Torrance Tartars winter season wrapped up with both basketball programs seeing CIF action. And the girls soccer team shared the Pioneer League crown with South, but that's not the best part of their season. Let's take a very quick look back. The Lady Tartars' 8-2 league record led them to success in the postseason, while the return of injured center Ihana Iono really sparked the Tartars as a team. They learned that steady communication and great defense really proved that they're more than just a good team. Shane Smith and crew of the Torrance boys basketball team came in 3rd place in the Pioneer League, but made an impressive and deep run all the way to the semis in the CIF playoffs. The Lady Tartar soccer team battled through adversity with the coaching change right at the start of the season and injuries galore to end on a high note, sharing a Pioneer League championship with South. They definitely should be proud for the 2nd season in a row. The Torrance basketball team capped off their season in a good fashion, even though they lost to the eventual winner in the Division 3 AA semis. And Coach Momo O'Hara's squad shows that the right temperament can keep you steady and reach all the way to the quarterfinals. The boys soccer team can look ahead for next season, and they're bringing back some core players. The girls soccer team got through the diversity of having that different coach right at the season's start and captured another Pioneer League crown along with South. And their wrestlers took second place in the Pioneer League and individually competed in the playoffs. All right, that wraps up the Pioneer League winter season. Next week, don't worry, we're going to take a look at West and Bishop Montgomery. There's a lot of great stuff to remember for sure. And after this break, we have David Gascon in studio to tell you about some cool things happening in the world of softball, so don't go anywhere.
It is important for young people to have a mentor in their life.
I would definitely say that I have had an impact on his life and he's had an impact on my life.
One of the most important lessons that I've learned from Charlie is to make better decisions and take responsibility for what you're going to do.
Think about what you would be today if people didn't go a step out of their way to help you out. And that's really what it's all about.
So get involved and do your part. Invest in the future. Mentor a child.
I worry about my boyfriend. One minute he's supportive, the next minute everything is my fault. After he's had too many beers, he gets really angry and I become the target. My best friend, a social worker, told me to try Al-Anon family groups. It was a great relief to hear a new perspective from my problems. Are you troubled by someone's drinking? You might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon family group meeting from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-AL-ANON or visit alanonfamilygroups.org.
What if you could ignite your child's love of learning with one after-school program? What if that one program was easy and fun? Destination Imagination is the one. Destination Imagination has taught teamwork, creativity, and problem solving for more than 25 years. A major university study showed our students are ahead of others in creativity and critical thinking. Learn more at startateam.org and make Destination Imagination the one for you.
Hello and welcome back. Torrance is going to be on the national stage in the world of softball. The South Bay is home to a lot of softball talent, and SportsDesk reporter David Gascon was in studio earlier this week with some special guests to give us the lowdown on what's going on. David?
Welcome back to the show. I'm with our in-studio guest, John Joseph, the operational director of the Torrance National Tournament. John, thanks for being here today. How are you?
Just fine. Very happy to be here.
Yeah,
give you a little info on the tournament.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. Specifically, we're going to talk about this tournament. So let's jump right into this. This is a tournament that's not different from any other tournament, except the fact that you have so much involvement with the girls. Can you talk about specifically the tournament and what it caters to for these young girls?
Yeah, basically, it's a preseason tournament, and what the coaches like about it is all teams come into town, and they're guaranteed 5 games in 3 days. So they're in town for 3 days. Something that's unique about this tournament is most schools, when they go to a tournament, they play, they stay in hotels off-site. They have really nothing to do. But Torrance is really sort of a secret destination. I mean, you know, we have the beaches here. We have so many dining options, cultural things, entertainment venues, and our proximity to all the Southern California attractions. And the Del Alma Mall especially. All the girls are staying at local hotels right across the street from the mall. Is a real attraction for high school teenage girls. And so what we want to do is get these girls in. They're coming in from 4 different states this year. Next year we'll go national with invites. We want to keep it local this year as far as the West Coast. And so it's a unique experience for them. It's going to enhance their high school experience because, as I said earlier, they play in a tournament, they stay in their rooms, they don't do anything. Well, we're having some functions for the girls at the mall and off-site at the beaches. And so they get a chance to talk to people and network and make new friends, we hope, with girls from other parts of the country. So this is something different from most tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, speaking on that, I mean, it's not like a Sunday fun day league where you and I are grabbing some shorts and some spikes and swinging for the fences. I mean, these are high-talented girls that are getting recruited by major Division I universities. So what kind of pressure is on them to perform? I mean, they had a lot of this in the past, obviously.
Yeah, well, this is an invitational tournament. So you obviously you had to have some successes in the past, and most of the programs are consistently programs like Torrance and North that are both the only 2 local teams we have in. They're always quarterfinalists or beyond in CIF every year, and those are the type of programs we're looking for. We have a couple state champions coming in from New Mexico and Arizona. And it's an opportunity for these girls to face better competition overall than they're going to see in their leagues. Plus, we have a lot of college and JC coaches are going to be in here over the weekend, because it's an opportunity for them to look at a couple hundred girls instead of going to a game and looking at 4 or 5.
Right.
And so it's just really a good event.
Yeah, and you talk about the event being so expansive. You have 4 teams spread out through California that are here, and the other 12 are from out of state. Why did you feel it was important for you to invite teams across the United States to come to California for this?
We want to make it a national event. We want it to become one of the premier events in the country. I was involved in an event in the past that actually did that, and it has discontinued. And so I'm taking the knowledge that I brought from that event and bringing it here to Torrance. I'm a lifetime Torrance and South Bay resident, and I just saw the opportunity here to showcase our area here. Yeah, definitely. And you talk about your past experiences. It started 5 years ago. Back in Huntington Beach, can you tell us a little bit about that and how it originally started? Yeah, it was the ESPN Nike Faster First tournament, and Nike wanted to get involved in the softball world, and ESPN sort of partnered with them with this tournament. We had teams from Hawaii, Florida, New York, Texas, pretty much 19 different states in the 5 years participated in it, and most of the teams were state champions or close to state champions. And what we did was we pitted 16 California teams, CIF champions and runner-ups, against top programs, 16 from outside of California. And again, it was a 5-game format. Everybody's guaranteed 5 games. Well, that's fantastic. And you're looking at that format, 16 teams, but in the near future, you're looking to expand this to 40. How is that going to happen? Yeah, next year we're committed to 24 teams. Okay. And then in 2014, we will go to 32. Okay. And we'll max out at that just because of the facility factor at Wilson and Columbia Parks. Okay. Well, putting something like this on is obviously, it's very grueling, but it's quite rewarding. So you don't do this alone. Who do you do this with, and how does this partnership work with the local sponsors? Well, Torrance High is really behind this. They're the whole school with CIF sanction and national sanction. They're helping us, and we have the mall facility, the mall properties across the street. We have several of the establishments in there really giving us help. We hope to have, we're talking with a couple sporting goods stores to come in as title sponsors. I don't know if I should mention, we haven't signed anything with them yet, but Wilson and DeMarina will probably know by tomorrow. Okay. They'll be involved. So, excellent. Well, in an event like this, obviously you've been doing it for quite a while, so this isn't your first rodeo, but what was the motivation behind this for you? Why are you personally doing this? I retired recently, and I have 30 years of coaching at the high school level here in the South Bay at South High, Redondo, and El Segundo, and also a couple years at El Camino. And it's just in my blood. I really have to keep busy, and I saw that Torrance needed some help as far as their softball program, and Don's a good friend of mine, and so I said, let's put on a tournament. He was looking to do one in the past, but he needed someone that had a little bit of expertise in it, and so I'm bringing that to the table for him. Well, great. Well, we expect big things from this tournament. We're actually going to meet a couple of the guests that play for Torrance High the next couple of minutes. So, John, thank you for being with us today, and we appreciate the time. Sure, thank you. That's John Joseph, the operational director of the Torrance National Tournament. I'll be right back with a couple guests here right back at the Sports Desk.
How far would you go to help someone? Would you go to the end of your driveway? Would you cross a street? Would you cross an ocean? Would you go if you could use your knowledge to teach someone? And in the process, maybe learn something yourself. Life is calling. How far will you go? Peace Corps.
Welcome back to the show. I'm with 2 representatives from the Torrance National Softball Tournament, and they're both Lady Tartars. Christina Washington, Cameron Watts, thanks for being in studio today with us. How are you?
Good.
Good. First things first, each of you ladies have played together, but not just for a couple years at Torrance, from back in the day. Being all Daily Breeze players and first team all Pioneer, what's that experience been like growing up together and playing ball together?
Well, me and Cameron have been on the same team since we were little, so we pretty much grew up together. Like, she's my best friend, and we do like everything together. So when it's on the field, it's just really fun being around her, and it's just an honor to play with Cameron.
Nice. Well, Cameron, you're a junior or a sophomore now. Yes. So growing up playing grade school ball and now playing varsity softball at Torrance, what's the experience been like, and how's the transition been from the speed of the game?
It's been a big change, and it's good to see how much me and Christina matured and like grew during the softball years.
So, Christina, when you talk about Cameron's maturity, you probably have a lot to do with that. As a junior on this team, you're accustomed to the pressure and the adversity that your team has faced year in and year out. But now you have new expectations for your team. What are they?
I always have high expectations for my team because our team is really talented, and I love all my teammates, and I know what they're capable of. So my expectations are pretty high, the same as last year, and I just ask that everyone does their best, and I know we're going to do good this season.
Okay. Well, Cameron, this is a tournament that's been around for quite a while, but now coming here to Torrance, you're going to have a lot of quality teams that you're going up against. But as a sophomore, you kind of handle that heat as a freshman. I mean, first team All-Pioneer League and whatnot. So what are you expecting from this tournament?
I'm expecting a lot of competition, as you said. But, we play travel ball, and we have competition like that. So it will be, pretty easy for us. But we have to carry our team on and make sure we do good.
Okay. Well, talking about that, too, Christina, talking about teams that are coming from all across the United States. Now, this isn't league play. It's a little bit different than Pioneer League. But the stakes are going to be high. What kind of things do you expect from yourself personally out of playing against top competition from around the country?
I look forward to playing against all these teams across the nation because I just love playing high levels of competition and my team being in that surrounding and everything. I just expect myself to do well. I mean, it doesn't really matter who they are. I still want to play them with the same intensity, get a win.
Okay. Well, being a junior on the squad, you have a lot of knowledge and wisdom that you're trying to pass along to some of the younger players. What's the message that you talk to these girls about before games and even after games?
Just to be confident and not to be scared of anyone because we can, we're a good team, and I don't know, just to be confident, just have fun.
Mm-hmm. Well, Cameron, going through the ranks, from grade school now to varsity softball, do you feel any kind of added pressure? I mean, obviously you're a sophomore now, so things are expected of you that they weren't, from last year. So do you have any kind of extra added pressure maybe from your teammates, your coaches, or even from yourself?
Not really. They expect me to do good, but whatever happens, happens. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody's perfect or anything.
Okay. Well, for both of you ladies, softball isn't just a couple months. It's a year-long process, and you're student athletes. So I guess, Christina, the first thing I want to ask you is, what's the experience been like being a student athlete? Preparation, schoolwork, and then playing a game. How's that process been for you?
It's really hard, and it makes you really tired. I mean, when you have games and tournaments and stuff, and then you have schoolwork, you just have to take your work on the road, and if you have a break in between games, you have to do your homework or study if you have a test, or work on your project or something. If you have to stay in a hotel for a weekend, you have to get all your work done, and sometimes you don't get to hang out with your friends and stuff like you want to, but it's all worth it.
Yeah, in the end, it definitely is. You see the fruits of your hard work. Cameron, last question for you. North and South finished first and second in Pioneer League play. What do you guys need to do to kind of top them and take the crown this year?
Well, this year we've been working really hard from summer into fall, and this year I think we just have to play hard, and if we make errors, don't get mad. Just come back the next inning and do good.
Okay. Well, this is going to be an exciting tournament. It's just a couple weeks away, so we look forward to watching each of you play and the rest of your teammates. But thanks for being here in studio today, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll be right back with more from the Sports Desk right after this.
Woo! Baby Eddie, meet
Baby Maya.
Oh, it's for us.
Your baby's getting text messages?
Yeah, I signed us up for Text for Baby. We get free text messages every week. Look.
A car seat for the hospital. That's a great reminder. How do we sign up?
Text BABY to 511411 and you'll get free health and safety tips every week.
Okay, we're signed up. Look!
That's one smart baby.
Just like her mom.
Thanks so much to David, John, Christina, and Cameron for coming in to the Sports Desk and giving us a lowdown on the upcoming Torrance National Fast Pitch Tournament. We'll keep you posted on this exciting event, which starts March 22nd and runs through the 24th. Now here's a chance for you to let us know something we don't. Take a look at the number on your screen. If you know of any event that you'd like us to cover or think of a player or coach that we can profile, please give us a call. And you can also email us and you can also look at all the shows online at our website, torranceca.gov. And don't forget, shows from 2010, 2011, and 2012 are on YouTube. That's all the time we have for you. So until next time, Torrance, play hard.